Hi everybody, my name is Frekhtman. I'm a personal injury attorney here in New York. And I wanted to talk about lost wages. If you're injured in an accident, any kind of accident, how do you go about getting your lost wages, your salary, your earnings? So there are a few different types of lost wages. And I'm sure you're here because you have questions and you want to know whether you are entitled to your lost salary or whether perhaps some things just can't be done. And it's important to really get a consultation with an attorney about your particular situation. But generally, lost salary or lost earnings can be obtained in a number of ways. First, if you're involved in a car crash in New York, you are entitled to your lost wages as part of the no-fault system. So the car that you are sitting in has up to $50,000 in first-party benefits, which works as insurance. And that insurance is going to pay for all of your medical care and also your lost wages. But there is that $50,000 cap. Now, if you have a serious injury and you can't go back to work for an extended period of time, like a week, a month, some people can't go back to work for a year. Some people never go back to work because the injury is just catastrophic. Well, now what you can do is you can file a lawsuit against the defendant, the other vehicle that hit you, and you can attempt to get different types of damages. One of the types of damages that you are entitled to is your pain and suffering. But another type of damages are your lost wages or your lost salary. And all you have to do is show your income taxes or show your W-2s, your pay stubs to confirm how much you were making and the fact that your doctor says now you can't go back to work because of the injuries you sustained. And now you're entitled to get that money back from the insurance company for the person who was at fault. So it's a pretty simple process, and it's usually broken down into two categories. Past lost wages, which is from the date of your crash up until the date of trial, as well as future lost wages, which is from the date of your trial in court and for the rest of your life. And that's decided based on life expectancy averages or tables that they have in the jury instructions that they use. So these are like the, open and shut, black and white categories, the simple stuff, right? You make, let's say, $50,000 a year, you're out for a year, you want that $50,000 back. If you make a certain amount per week, you miss a week, you want that money back. That's simple. Now, what if you have a little bit of a different situation? What if you have something known as unrealized occupation? The law in New York also talks about somebody who is studying or actively pursuing a career. So for example, we had a case last year where a young man was injured in a car crash. He was on a bicycle, he got hit by a car, and he had a clavicle fracture. He was studying to become an accountant. And it was a 2-year associate's degree, and he only finished one semester. It was a total of 4 semesters, the fall and the spring for the 2 years, and he only finished one semester before the crash. But he couldn't take his exams, and he had to drop out of school because he had this bad clavicle fracture with displacement. And so we made a claim for what's known as unrealized occupation. If somebody is actively pursuing or has a course of training to become, let's say he wanted to be an accountant, right? And now everything is delayed because he can't go to school. He still will be an accountant later on, but he can't do it right now. And so we had an economist tell us that every year an entry-level accountant, in those years when the incident happened, makes I think $39,000 a year, and then it starts increasing. And so we were able to make that claim. And his delay was about a little bit over a year, I would say a year and a half. And the jury agreed with us and allowed for $60,000 to compensate him for that unrealized occupation. So that goes to, and if you look at the case law, if you look at the precedents in New York, they admit the fact that all lost wage claims or all loss of earnings claims are somewhat speculative, right? Because we have to kind of guess that whoever, if I'm a lawyer, you have to guess that I'm going to be a lawyer tomorrow. If you're a doctor, are you going to be a doctor 2 years from now, right? And anybody, it's all speculative. You can't know for sure that the person is going to be doing what they're doing. But what they really look at is whether you were actively pursuing the vocation or the career, and if there's a high likelihood that you would continue. And ultimately, it's a question of fact for the jury because it's a factual question, and the jury is the purveyor of facts. They're the ones who decide the facts in a trial. So I hope this has been helpful. Drop us any questions. This is just a brief overview of how to obtain lost wages and an explanation of lost wages or lost salary. These are known as economic damages in a personal injury lawsuit. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.